You guys, mic? Give you the mic?
Yeah.
We want to welcome everyone to number 25. 25 years we've been on this stage, so thank you for everybody. So before we start, I want to thank someone that's real special in this room. We couldn't have done this without her. We started 2001 at Momentitos de la Vida with 50 people with a dream and an idea, and it wouldn't have happened without Robin Martin, the owner of the Taos News. Where's Robin at? There she is. Thank you, Robin. So it's hard to believe that it's been 25 years since we started this tradition at the Taos News. Over those 25 years, we've had the privilege of recognizing 220 unsung heroes and 34 Citizens of the Year. Our first Citizen of the Year is Luis Reyes. I'm not sure if Luis is with us. Where is Luis at? There he is. Before we start our awards ceremony, I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Nacinda Credit Union, Michelle Griego. Thank you, Michelle. Taos Branch Manager. A big thank you to UNM Taos for once again sponsoring tonight's event. Yeah, woo! Where's Mary Gutierrez? Chancellor Mary Gutierrez. Where's Mary at? There she's at, in the back. And Randy Archuleta, Dean of Instruction. Thank you, Randy, my good friend. And a big thank you to Peter Walker. Peter Walker's did these amazing videos and his team. Where's Peter at? He's in the back. Wait till you see these videos he put on. Did a magnificent job. A special thank you to Taos Community Foundation. Taos Community Foundation, CJ Grace. They've been with us from the very start. They were our title sponsor, and they were there at Momentitos with us. We couldn't have done it without. Thank you, CJ. Thank you for Taos Community Foundation. Wonderful sponsor. I want to thank Nick Branchell that played out in front. He'll come back when we do our Citizen of the Year. So thank you, Nick. We'll be back in the back. Thank you. So again, this year, we were looking for a way to properly honor our recipients. We went to Ira Lujan from Taos Pueblo. We did these beautiful glass bears. I'm not sure, is Ira with us tonight somewhere? Let's give a big round of applause for Ira. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce our committee who picked our Unsung Heroes and Citizen of the Year. Marilyn Farrow from St. James Church. She's somewhere. Where's Marilyn? There she is, the Unsung Hero. So she's got a little event this Saturday, the Empty Bowls Project. They feed 500 families every week. So please go to St. James and support her cause. It's a wonderful cause. Thank you. So I don't know where the judge is. Where's Ernie at? There he's at. There's Ernie. Pass. Stand up, Ernie. Everybody can see you. Ernie's a past unsung hero, Taos News employee. And he's retiring pretty soon from the bench, and he's told me he's looking for employment, so if anyone has any jobs. It's a job. Ernestine Cordova, where's Ernestine at? Ernestina? Wonderful. Past unsung here. Ernestine's been on the committee for over 20 years, so thank you, Ernestina. Larry Mapes, past Taos, there he is, Chamber President, and TK1 President, too. Barb Wired from Taos Ski Valley. Where's Barb at? There's Barb. Thank you, Barb. Lisa Sutton from Coldwell Banker. She's new on our committee. Thank you, Lisa. And Mona, I'm not going to misbuild her nose, Hackham. I think I got it right, from Taos Ski Valley. Where's Mona at? She's a sponsor. Thank you, Mona. And this guy has a special place in my heart. Ted Wired, where's Ted at? He's a special guy. Now, Ted has an interesting distinction. He's past an unsung hero and a Citizen of the Year. There's only two people that have that honor, and that's Ted and Tony Reyna. So, there you go. Okay. And our beloved moderator for the group, Elizabeth Crinton Palacios, has been doing it for 20 years. I don't know where Elizabeth is, but we couldn't do it without her. Where's Elizabeth? There she is. So tonight we're proud to recognize 10 remarkable individuals from Taos County. Our nominating committee has carefully selected heroes from all walks of life, including 2 former newspaper publishers from Angel Fire, a passionate behavioral health advocate who devotes his time helping young people, a mental health counselor who's worked 20 years with the Taos Municipal Schools, the founder of Taos Youth Hockey, a member of the Knights of Columbus Color Guard and a proud Comanche dancer, also an employee of UNM Taos, a longtime Penasco educator who serves on several nonprofit boards. With 30 years of coaching experience, this hero founded the local nonprofit School of Baseball, a woman who is best known for her tireless work through St. James Church, a man in his 90s who volunteers for several organizations and works harder in a week than most people do in a month. He's in the front row right here. And finally, a hero that wins the Best of Taos Veterinarian Award year after year after year. These individuals are true treasures of Taos, and we're delighted to celebrate their outstanding contributions. Tonight's honorees are exemplified by their character. They show up to help without asking. They stay without reward, and they ask for nothing in return. Their footprint is almost invisible, yet their impression is long-lasting for years and decades to come. Now I'd like to turn the program over to Laura Martin-Baseman, our HR director for the Taos News and Santa Fe New Mexican, and daughter of Robin Martin, the owner of the Taos News.
This one or this one? Oh, okay, cool. Excellent. We're just figuring out these mics here. Sorry. Nope. Great. Great. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're so grateful that we can do this event at El Monte Sagrado. It is such a beautiful venue, and it feels so celebratory every time we're here. And I would also like to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral homeland of Taos Pueblo, and we are grateful to the Tiwa people for their partnership with us for this event and as members of our community. But we are especially grateful for all the heroes that have come from Taos Pueblo, and many of them we have celebrated here in this room with our heroes. I want to also acknowledge the Taos News staff who work tirelessly every year to bring you the beautiful Tradiciones special sections and take the time to go out and interview all these beautiful people in our community who are unsung heroes and our Citizen of the Year. Now, when journalism is something that is attacked often in the public, it's really nice to have a local news source that really uplifts the positive stories of our community. And it wouldn't be without Chris Baker that we would have that wonderful guidance to be focusing our shining lights on these wonderful people in our community and also uplifting good stories when I know it's something that we need more than ever. So thank you to Chris. And Ellen, our lovely special sections editor, is unfortunately not here tonight, but she put a lot of effort into the beautiful piece that you all are going to see later this evening. So great thank you to Ellen as well. So this event would not be possible without our sponsors and our partners. I would first like to acknowledge UNM Taos. UNM Taos's, yeah, woohoo. UNM Taos's mission is to provide high-quality education that transforms students' educational journeys. They empower their students to imagine possibilities, cultivate knowledge, and achieve personal and economic well-being. Their stewardship of Taos's young people is one of the reasons we're always so grateful to have them as partners for this event. Thank you, UNM Taos. We would also like to thank Taos Ski Valley's Uplift Youth Fund, a new partner for us this year. And I would like to introduce Santiago de Herrera, a youth representative for the Fund's Community Advisory Circle, to come up.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Santiago de Herrera. I am a senior at Taos High School, and I serve as a youth representative on the Community Advisory Circle for the Uplift Youth Fund at Taos Valley. On behalf of Taos Valley, we are really proud to be a sponsor of tonight's event. Being here feels special because this evening is about celebrating some of the very best of Taos, people who inspire us and people who remind us that one person and one idea can truly make a difference. Being here tonight feels incredible to be in a room with so many people with such a great impact. The spirit of making a difference is exactly why we are all here today. At Taos Ski Valley, the community pledge was created as a commitment not only to care for the mountain, but also to protect our environment, invest in the youth, and support the future of Taos. One of the biggest ways this has come to life is through the Uplift Youth Fund, which dedicates $100,000 every year to programs and opportunities that help young people learn, grow, and connect. What makes it special is that decisions are made right here with the community. Through the Community Advisory Circle, where voices sit alongside local leaders, people my age actually have a say in where resources go and what priorities matter the most. And the impact is real. From outdoor access programs to youth sports to internships that open doors for future careers, we've already seen how these investments strengthen the whole community. With each funding cycle, even more opportunities are created for us to learn, grow, and lead. The truth is, the youth aren't just the future, but we are here now in the present. When young people are lifted up, the whole community rises with us. The Uplift Youth Fund demonstrates that our voice matters, and that's impactful. In a world that's forever changing and that continues to have complexity and difficulties, it's so important for us to have youth as increase the voice of youth in our communities and in our society. Thank you to the Taos News for hosting this beautiful evening, and congratulations to this year's Unsung Heroes and the Citizen of the Year. Let's keep uplifting one another and carrying this community forward together. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Santiago, and thank you again to the Uplift Fund. Another important sponsor and partner for us tonight is Nusenda Credit Union. I would love to welcome up Michelle Griego, the office manager of the Taos branch.
Thank you, Laurel, for the introduction. Okay. Nusenda Credit Union is deeply proud to once again sponsor the Citizen of the Year and Unsung Heroes celebration. For many years, Taos News has shined a light on the remarkable people who make the community so special, and we are truly grateful to be a part of that storytelling. Like many of you, we at Nusenda are deeply committed to our community here in northern New Mexico. Over the years, it has been incredibly moving to witness the impact these individuals have on the lives of those around them. So much good is happening in Taos, and we need to share the stories more because they inspire us all. The individuals we are celebrating tonight represent the very best of our community. They show us how one person's passion and dedication can make a world of difference in a community like ours in Taos. At Nusenda, we believe the strong communities are built by people, and we call that the power of we. Because our belief is that we work together, support each other, and lift each other up, and possibilities are endless. We are proud to honor these outstanding individuals and the positive impact they have made. Thanks to Taos News for continuing their wonderful tradition, and thank you to everyone here tonight for celebrating the true treasure of Taos, its people. Congratulations to tonight's honorees. Your work is meaningful, and the legacy you are building will continue to strengthen our community for years to come. Tonight, let's celebrate, uplift, and consider how we can all continue working together to keep Taos a vibrant, thriving place for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. One of the most important sponsors we have for this event is the Taos Community Foundation. They have been helping us celebrate Taos' heroes for 24 out of the 25 years that we have been doing this. The impact of TCF's dedication to honoring the visions, hopes, and dreams of our unsung heroes will be remembered for generations to come, and especially thanks to the leadership of CJ Grace, the CEO of TCF.
Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight and to see all of the faces in the room in front of me. For 30 years, Taos Community Foundation has been a trusted partner with our community, bringing together people who care to help support a thriving Taos for all Taoseños. Rudolfo Anaya once shared, "There is a time in the last few days of summer when the ripeness of autumn fills the air. The nights are crisp and cold, piñón and fruit have been harvested, and wood is stacked for the winter. These are the rhythms of life in northern New Mexico that we and those who came before us cherish." Similarly, Tradiciones and Unsung Heroes, thank you to the Taos News, are part of who we are. People showing up quietly, neighbors helping neighbors, simply because they believe in doing good and helping others. It's an honor to be here tonight as a longtime sponsor and partner of the Taos News, recognizing individuals whose care drives them in service of making our community a better place. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to the Taos Community Foundation staff and board, and thank you to the honorees of the evening. With that, it's my pleasure to recognize the Taos Community Foundation Nonprofit of the Year. This is an award that is community nominated and is accompanied by a $5,000 grant to the nonprofit selected. Cuesta is a special community. Locology is a nonprofit that has been serving this region for over 17 years through initiatives like the Sangre de Cristo Youth Ranch Summer Camp Program, originally conceptualized by the beloved Dr. Bud Wilson and his wife Barb. Over the years, Locology's work has evolved to support other nonprofit initiatives, including day camps, after-school programs, living history, arts and cultural events, filmmaking, food sovereignty, economic development, health and wellness, substance abuse prevention, local journalism, workforce development, and watershed restoration, to name a few of the things that they do. Each of these organizations, Locology itself, and the projects that it sponsors advance the mission of building community by the community and for the community in northern New Mexico. Locology is truly stewarding and incubating this work. Congratulations to Locology, Daniel Hutchinson, and all of the projects that make the magic happen.
Well, it's truly an honor to be here. I just want to say shout out to my son Asa, who came straight from wrestling and didn't bring his dress pants. But
Go Tigers.
go Tigers. Asa reminds me that there is a future. The future is real. And also shout out to my partner Ruth, who is helping to build that future, and to my parents and all my friends who made me a person. Someone whose judgment I trust implicitly, someone who gives me wise counsel, advised that locology keeps a low profile in Taos, and the northern part of the county, where we do much of our work, is chronically under-resourced. So they said, you can't stand on that podium without asking for money. But I thought given the gravitas of this event, that I shouldn't mention that Locology is a 501c3 public charity, and any donation is tax deductible to the fullest extent allowed by law. In all seriousness, I know that Taos is abundant in do-gooders, and it's truly an honor to be recognized for our work, especially in the northern part of the county, and especially I thank you, CJ, along with the Taos News, and CJ and her team have been steadfast supporters of most of our programs consistently. So I'm most proud that Locology is a pretty aimless organization. We don't really have a plan. And all we have is a spirit of receptivity. So if somebody from the community presents themselves and they have worthwhile work to do, we generally take them up on it, and we help them with the paperwork so they can concentrate their efforts on making a positive impact on their community. So it's really just a consortium of different small nonprofits, as you heard. Recognize a couple people who are here who are partners in programs of Locology, and you can raise your hand if anybody, because I know that people will want to seek you out afterwards and collaborate with you. But before I name them, I just wonder if you would humor me with an exercise quickly, and that is to hold your breath. And please don't do this if it's not medically advisable. We don't want anybody keeling over here. But hold your breath as long as you can. Couldn't make it tonight is Gaya Magahi. She started the Cuesta Farmers Market, started Sala Reach, which is a holistic health and wellness program, and is also shepherding Cultivo, which is a emerging producers technical education for agriculture. Freedom Hopkins is in the back, who's the director of the Sangre de Cristo Youth Ranch. I only have 2 minutes, so you have to hold your applause and your breath at the same time. But for 40 years, Sangre de Cristo Youth Ranch has been providing tuition-free immersive summer camp for children. It's a place where they can feel safe, respected, and free to realize their potential. Also here is Maria Gonzalez, who is the founder of the Vida del Norte Coalition, Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition in Northern Taos County, and also is the grant officer for LORE, which is in a very innovative funding partnership with Locology and has allowed us to double our impact effectively over the last couple of years. Also here is Lynn Skall of the Cuesta Economic Development Fund, who we partner with on the paper up there, the Cuesta del Rio News. Claire Cote isn't here, does LEAP and Cuesta Stories. Katrina Gonzalez brought back the fiestas to Cuesta. Alyssa and Jose Duran are doing after-school sports with Cuesta Active. Jacqueline Tregle is running the Vida Day Camp, where kids are exploring their watershed and food shed. Scott Sutton is in charge of Casas Culturas, a community hub. Delfina Ortega is running Santa's Helpers, giving holiday gifts to families in need. Danny Cervantes is Resurrected Taos Pride. And if you live in Taos and eat food, you should check out Maciek Musilowski with the Food Forest Movement of Taos. And if you live in Taos and drink water, you ought to look up Dustin Frietta of the Sacred Water Mountain Society, who is fixing the upper watershed of the Rio Fernando with indigenous water plankton. So our programs are grassroots. They arise from needs that people have identified right around them. So they're impeccably responsive, timely, and efficient in delivering solutions to the community. And you can let your air out now and cheer for these people who have taking up this work. How did you guys feel holding your breath? Give me an adjective. Somebody shout something out. Breath, yeah. How did you feel when you finally inhaled a new breath? Yeah. I don't know about you, but when I consume the news, I feel like I'm holding my breath. And I feel like that is our instinct to live, that feeling that we have. And so I would encourage you, I know that there in this room are pillars of the community, are people who make tremendous sacrifices for the benefit of their neighbors. So this is not a sermon, this is a pep talk. I just want to say that we have an opportunity right now to wake up every day and choose to live. We can choose to take care of our water, our food, our shelter, our economic opportunities, our community, our culture. So that's a choice we have to make every day, like every animal on earth and like humans have done for most of our history. And I encourage you to be more involved. Don't worry about it being in your contract hours. Don't worry about a mandate from on high. Don't hold your breath for somebody to rescue you. This may be inconvenient. It may entail some sacrifice, but get good sleep, eat well, share your knowledge with your friends, and let's all take a big breath together.
Thank you to Daniel and Locology and all of the projects doing all of the work. With that, we have one more recognition for the evening. Taos Community Foundation annually recognizes a Philanthropist of the Year, and I would like to invite Abby Sanger, Taos Community Foundation Board Chair, to present that award.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Abby Sanger. I am the Taos Community Foundation Board Chair. So thank you for having us, and we're so excited to be here tonight. It is my great honor and privilege to announce that this year's Philanthropist of the Year is Hank Friedman. Hank is a longtime Taos community member. He's been here for well over 40 years. 30, sorry, I apologize. He has also been a coach at our girls soccer team for that amount of time. He is one of the most humble persons you'll ever meet, and yet so much fun to be around. It is with great honor and pleasure to announce my dear friend Hank Friedman as our Philanthropist of the Year.
What you didn't know is I gifted Daniel most of my 2 minutes. So we're still on time. For those of you keeping track, we're still on time. It is a privilege to be honored by my community along with such worthy recipients. I'd like to thank this community for welcoming a stranger from Boston with a weird accent, for welcoming me with open arms and an open heart, and enabling me to make a positive impact on this wonderful place. I will leave you with the words of another great Bostonian, President John F. Kennedy. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Again, thank you, and enjoy the evening.
With that, I'll pass the mic to Catherine Horsey.
Good evening. This is the joyous event where we celebrate the long-time, everyday contributions of our fellow Taoseños In these times, it's ever more important that we take time to recognize and honor the people around us who make life better for everyone, directly or indirectly. These are people who are extraordinary, not because of any special genius, but because of their remarkable commitment to our community. As a musician, Miles Bonney recognizes patterns and cycles and knows how and when to break them. In his work with the community, he has spent a great deal of time helping families break cycles of substance misuse, violence, and other kinds of adverse early childhood experiences. I have to say how proud I am to live in the first state in the nation to offer universal child care. Miles has been a part of that too for a number of years. He offers his talents wherever they can make a difference. Please join me in recognizing Miles Bonney as a 2025 Unsung Hero.
My name is Miles Bonney. I've been in Taos about 13 years, lived other places, and having a great experience here, working with people, supporting community, providing music and mentorship and education, and just collaborating with everybody however I can to help improve people's lives. Started working at Dream Tree Project because I was used to working with teenagers. And I've worked a lot of organizations since, Paso Paso on early childhood issues, Taos Alive, currently the director, which does a lot of education with young people regarding substances and the importance of being connected to positive experiences. DJ'd at the brewery for many years, DJ'd a great multi-generational party at the Pueblo, dance party that was awesome. So I do a lot of on-the-ground work in the schools, speaking with young people, presentations to community organizations on things like opioid overdose prevention and naloxone, education with kids on substance issues to prevent them becoming addicted. When I first moved here, I got connected with Kath and Dream Tree Projects. They're doing great work with teens. Later on, Ted Wired was a huge support and kind of a consistent presence in helping me get a pace for how to best approach difficult work and difficult support moments with individuals, even though I'm not a clinical therapist or anything. On the music scene, AJ and Cody have always been super nice to me. I think AJ is the first person I met in a grocery store here. Everything everybody does to make community happen and the ways in which we all contribute with our own special talent, skills, and interests to just make life a bit more exciting and healthy for each other. So where we are right now is KNC. I've been on and off air ever since they started. I was the first person they kind of brought on to play records. That was something I think they had an interest in, and I'd already done that. And I was DJing around here a lot at the time. It's a great community opportunity because not only do they welcome unique voices and perspectives and tastes of what people like to play and listen to musically, but they also welcome local stories. My hopes, dreams, and wishes for the Taos community would include an increased focus on the people who have lived here for generations and supporting them, supporting their families in a variety of ways that make them feel seen, heard. Of all the dynamic backgrounds and histories is what makes this place incredible, as well as the beautiful scenery.
All right, thank you so much for having me, and I will do my best to speak at half the speed I did on that video so we can understand what I'm saying, which is an ongoing challenge. I did prepare something, and I'd like to read it if that's okay. This world yearns for a community like ours, a place where people still wave at each other. While it has been my efforts in community that has led me to this moment, rather than solely reflect on the many ways that I've tried to be helpful, it's a better use of my time that I acknowledge those whose willingness to collaborate and open their doors to me have made any of my accomplishments possible. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the presence of my parents, Ann Grothe and Frances Bonney. As well as my wonderful and encouraging wife, Siobhan Bonney O'Rourke, and my daughter, Georgia. Shout out to my other kids as well who are not here. Well, I cannot thank everybody. I do hope to highlight some names soon, but for the fact of time, I want to keep it moving to say that no one can be effective in this community without relationships. They open the doors with kind hearts, warm smiles, and very often tasty food, just like tonight. Spirits and bodies who share an interest in a better tomorrow for themselves and their community, all of which is built upon, all of which is built upon a natural and spiritual intelligence that has been present here for centuries. This place has heart. I've done what I can. That's right, give it up. I've done what I can to use my past experiences, current insights, research, and respect for others to try to improve systems and make more equitable this life for everyone in the region. It's also been very cognizant of my privilege, and I try to do what I can to use my face in a manner that represents goodwill, honesty, empathy, and care for all individuals. Regardless of the ways in which they engage with this place that we call home, they deserve support. Special shout out goes out to my early friends whose presence here made me feel at home. Sam the Trans Conductor, George Alalunas, AJ Life Tracks, Cody Mirabel, and others. Thank you to the Taos News, everybody on the board and committee, and especially Ted Wired for having me here. Now's the time for tough conversations. The world is increasingly challenging in new ways that can sometimes be unhealthy and deceitful. And I encourage us all to treat each other with mutual respect, value, and love. And thanks so much for the honor tonight. I get to keep it? Thanks.
Kindness, humility, perseverance, devotion to community. These are some of the words that describe the best of us. All of these words have been used to describe Manny Vigil. His work makes UNM Taos a better place, and his kindness makes it a more welcoming space for everyone. Beyond those halls, his gifts to Los Comanches de la Serna demonstrate his deep commitment to his heritage and a desire to ensure that those traditions are preserved.
Good morning, my name is Manuel Vigil. I work for UNM Taos. Very involved with my church in Ranchos and also with the Genizados. I'm a well-known Comanche dancer. I've been doing it for 40-some plus years and still doing it. When I'm dancing, it's a very special place in my heart. Very touching. The community group is the Mardomos I have in the church that I'm involved with, and the Knights of Columbus that I belong to. And I also belong to a group of the Yax brothers, which comes from not only from Peñasco, Taos, but from Santa Fe, Española, Albuquerque, Texas. They're from all over. For people that are going through hard times. I appreciate my work ethics that I have, and the pride I take in my work. Well, a lot of my projects right now are doing the interior, exterior windows, shampooing, carpets, cleaning offices for new facility members coming in. Before the semester starts, we do a lot of deep cleaning. I do a lot of detailing in cars and trucks, interior, exterior. I'm like a Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. I'm very honored and very blessed to be part of the family of UNM as I take pride in my work. The first 2 weeks of June, we start preparing our church. We plaster it, remodel it, and keep our church beautified. My hopes and traditions for Taos would be to keep our culture, our church, and everything going within the community in Ranchos. Keep our cultures going. Buenas tardes y bienvenidos, mi gente. I'm very honored, very blessed, and very humbled to be up here this evening, beyond my community, my loving community, my Taoseños, my rancheros. God bless you all. We love you, my friend. Thank you. As I accept this recognition tonight with the rest of the Unsung Heroes, I want to thank the Taos News for hosting a wonderful evening for all of us. Thank you to those who nominated me for this award. Every day I wake up and thank God for that. He's given me, my family, growing up in ranchos with my loving family, and the famous Torreon. I don't know if you guys know about the Torreon, but I was raised in that area. I played pool there, I boxed there. I used to box with my neighbors, I used to play pool. And one of my competitors used to tell me, I'm going to beat you, Manuel. But he never did. He never did. And with that, I learned the value of hard work, dedication, and everything in life to live. Be true to God, stay humble, stay kind, love one another. Always smile and remember, it's okay to put your heart and soul into everything you do. With a heartfelt blessing tonight, I thank each and every one of you for this memorable moment in my life. I am truly blessed and honored. Thank you very much.
Local journalism knits the community together and keeps it well informed, as it should be in a democracy. Guy and Marcia Wood operated the Sangre de Cristo Chronicle out of Angel Fire for almost 40 years, traveling around the Enchanted Circle, covering the community as it grew. They kept tabs on politicians as well as on isolated elders. They covered the sports, the schools, the ceremonies, and the snowfall, all of the things that, taken as a whole, comprise a community. We are here tonight because local newspapers care. And we should support them, as Guy and Marcia Wood have supported the community for so long. Guy and Marcia Wood.
Well, I'm Guy Wood, and this is my wife, Marcia. Together, we published weekly newspapers for 35, 36 years in Colorado and here in Angel Fire. We've lived here in Angel Fire since 1984, had this house built in 85. We were the only house up here at that time, and we ran the Chronicle, the weekly Chronicle, from 84 until we sold it in 2006.
Well, we really did go around the Enchanted Circle. I did reporting initially. I always did some reporting, but then he taught me ad sales, and so I did ad sales too.
We very aggressively covered local government. We got here in 84. Angel Fire was not an incorporated community at that time. They incorporated in 86. And so, of course, after that, we went to all the village council meetings and so forth, and the school board meetings, and tried to really stay abreast of what was happening in that respect. Our kids were on the ski teams, and we covered all the races, of course, and I was a gatekeeper and so forth.
We also didn't cover ourselves, Red River Council, but we had Katie,
Right,
who
yeah.
covered a Red River woman. And then the county, our county is 79 miles away in Raton. And so we had a stringer for that. And we also had a stringer for Cimarron School Sports, a man who did a lot of photography. And we had a small staff. I mean, there was no way we could be at all these places all the time.
And then I've been on the Angel Fire Community Foundation board since 2010.
Well, my wish locally is that we had a newspaper. There hasn't been a newspaper here since 2015.
I hope that our public schools will pick up on intensely teach critical thinking and civics. If somebody wants to go into journalism and pursue it really thoughtfully, you have to who, what, where, why, when, and how, and remember that you're not part of the story. You stay out of the story as fairly and accurately as humanly possible. Tell both sides, all sides.
What a wonderful evening. It's an unexpected honor that Guy and me are unsung heroes. We are grateful. Congratulations to all the unsung heroes chosen this year. Have you ever wondered why you volunteer? Here's a peek of one volunteer from decades ago. She carefully put on her lipstick, fluffed her hair, then picked up her purse and said goodbye. "Are you sure Dad is okay with this?" "Of course," she answered. In less than an hour, she and the other members of the Wiley Women's Club were at the Fort Lyon, Colorado Veterans Hospital, dancing with veterans who were called shell-shocked. You can almost see the smiles on the vets' faces after dancing with strangers one afternoon a month and enjoy their homemade refreshments. But they did more than dance. The Women's Club raised money that changed a high school girl's life. She was bald from alopecia. She had worn a scarf on her head and a scab on her heart from all the years of teasing she had endured. Perhaps shopping with a kleptomaniac was the most unusual task. A husband had begged the club for help. Once a week, a member took his wife shopping. Shopping with another person curbed her shoplifting. My mother, Dorothy Temple, was one of those volunteers in the Wiley Women's Club in the tiny town of Wiley in southeastern Colorado. I am crediting her with planting the seeds that sprouted as I became a volunteer. I loved helping Borden students, 2 from the Reno Valley, produce a school newspaper at St. Scholastica Academy in Canyon City, Colorado. Lori and Barbie sang the praises of the beautiful valley. We were there publishing the weekly Fremont County Sun. As a member of Zonta in Canyon City, we raised money for a 4-year scholarship to send a young mother to college. It was a thrill when Susan's business degree later landed her an international job with Harley-Davidson. Other rewarding volunteer tasks, serving on Music from Angel Fire, organizing a parent-teacher organization for the Eagle Nest School, and making grocery deliveries with Guy almost every other week to Cimarron for over 19 years for ALM, the Always Loving Mankind Food Pantry. As board members, we worked with 4 dedicated presidents, and a 5th president has just begun, who's an accomplished grant writer, Gina Bonner. Will continue, home deliveries, currently 110 bags every Monday in the Moreno Valley and 103 bags on alternate Mondays in Cimarron. I'll bet we all agree that the time we give as volunteers makes our lives richer, brings those in need comfort, and makes our communities stronger. Thank you.
It's a hard act to follow here. Good evening, and thank you for attending this wonderful community event. This 25th Tradiciones is a Taos community milestone. Congratulations to all the well-deserved Unsung Heroes and Citizen of the Year. Thanks to Chris Baker and all the Taos News staff for continuing a valuable tradition of reviewing this area's rich history and recognizing citizens who enrich the community with their selfless contributions. Thank you also to the Unsung Heroes Selection Committee, including Lisa Sutton, photographer Nathan, videographer Peter and his UNM team, Danny, video creator, wordsmith Emery, and Ellen Miller-Goins for her characteristic thoughtfulness, which we've known since her days with us at the Sangre de Cristo Chronicle. And of course, thank you to co-sponsors, the Taos Community Foundation, UNM Taos, Nusenda Credit Union, and Taos Ski Valley, and to the Taos business community for its vital advertising support. I would like to take a moment to say, I hope the Taos community continues to recognize and appreciate the treasure that is the Taos News. As news deserts and biased internet social media sites continue to impair reliable information and good citizenship across the United States, a thoughtful, informed, accurate local newspaper is vital for a community. Thank you. Thank you. Public bodies are more transparent. Little League volunteers are saluted. Public service organizations are supported. And unique local activities like the creative Taos art scene are recognized and encouraged. To be honored as in one's own community and by one's peers is an honor of a lifetime for Marcia and me. Thank you.
I'd like to say that our son, Chris Wood, is here. Many of you know him.
And he had nothing to do with our selection.
And he wants you to be sure to know he had nothing to do with our selection.
Thank you.
The children of this community face extraordinary challenges: poverty, absent parents, housing instability, or sometimes a simple lack of clean, adequate clothing. Children cannot learn if they show up at school hungry, cold, and tired. After decades of work with students, no one understands this better than Eleanor Romero, who has been a driving force behind the community school initiative here in Taos that seeks to care for the whole child. so that students have a much better chance at success, both in school and in life. And it gives me great pleasure to recognize Eleanor Romero as an unsung hero.
Hello, my name is Eleanor Romero. I'm a retired elementary school counselor with Taos Municipal Schools, and I am doing a lifelong dream of mine by being in this room. I'm on the board of the Howard Museum. I'm on their education committee. I'm part of a group of women, and we provide breakfasts for 14 staff of 14 schools twice a year to show appreciation, and we do our fundraising for that. I'm the acting president of Vista Grande High School, and then we give out food to families from Enos. The clothes, these coats, came from Coats for Kids, the campaign that KOAT-TV. Everything in here is a donation. I've always been very grateful to principals who allowed me to make my job what I wanted it to be. I don't think people understand just how much poverty there is here. You know, if you don't know where you're going to get your next meal from, you don't care whether you can read or not. You just want to be able to eat. You want to be able to stay warm. Taos Municipal Schools and the administration has been extremely supportive. I had a mother who was very giving. We were very poor, but there were people who had less than we did. And so she always made sure other people had what we had. And so that's where I learned a lot of my lessons from my mother and my siblings. Our kids would be more successful. If they got their basic needs met, then they could focus on and become more successful instead of having to just survive. We have kids who come and say, you know, it's weekend and we need food. And they'll come in and they'll take a bag of food for home for the weekend. And so that makes me really happy that they understand that we're here to serve them and that they're welcome.
This honor, but I really didn't get here by myself. I'm deeply grateful to the committee for selecting me and to CJ Grace for nominating me. Your belief in me means so much. Lori Mitchell-Dunn saw something in me and thought I could contribute to the Taos School Zone, which set everything in motion. Penny Holland invited me to join 100% Community School Action Team, and that led me to the subcommittee that formed the Taos County Coalition for Community Schools. I've been lucky to work alongside two incredible community school coordinators, Paula, who gave me the freedom to define my role, and Martha, who continues to support me in every step of the way. Thank you to Taos Municipal School administrators for letting me remain part of this wonderful systems change. I'm grateful for my friends who always show up when I need help. For my sister Fabi, who donates eggs to the pantry. To my son Ramon, thank you for joining in and for your generous gift that helps me get what I need for the community schoolroom. To my husband Alfredo Vigil, thank you for your enthusiastic support and encouragement. After 51 years, you still make me laugh every day. A special shout out to my grandson Jackson, who visits every summer and jumps right in to help with all the work that needs to be done without complaining. And finally, to the thousands of families and children that welcomed me into their lives and shared their stories, I am very grateful. I'm surrounded by amazing people, and I share this honor with all of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Elizabeth Halley is a gentle woman, gentle with the land and gentle with her fellow man. She has a simple goal to make sure that people have what they need to make their lives easier, especially in times of exceptional need. Kindness and generosity of spirit are what make Elizabeth extraordinary, and her commitment to the dignity of those she serves. Elizabeth Halley.
afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Halley. I'm a longtime member of a St. James Episcopal here in Taos. I work with the Rummage Ministry, and I sew a lot of quilts, mostly smaller ones that I can finish in a week or two, and most of those are given to families in need. My passion is making sure people in need have basics so that they're not living more uncomfortably than they have to. And so I've been a part of the Rummage for many years since I came here. St. James is the hub, but my sense is the community supports St. James by giving us their excess. We have a tremendous amount of weekly donations that are not just from our parishioners. And for each Thursday, which is our food pantry day, we put out a rack of clothing and shoes and household goods each week, and there's a few items left usually at the end of the day. People are appreciative of having these things available when you're having trouble with food. Probably it's a wider need than just food. My hopes for the community, and especially those that we serve through the food pantry and Rummage, and is that our support will help them get back on their feet and have a better life that they feel good about. Good afternoon. I guess it's not afternoon anymore. Good evening, and thank you all. It didn't occur to me that I should write a speech until this afternoon, so you're in luck. There's not a lot of talking. And thank you all, and I feel great thanks to the whole community because they support St. James in so many ways, and thank you.
There are many different ways to worship. Andy Torres worships through his music, his woodworking, his teaching career, his participation in Knights of Columbus and Los Hermanos Penitentes, and his service to the community. This may be the most important of our Taos Tradiciones, and perhaps the one most pleasing to the Creator, caring for each other. Thanks, Andy, for showing us the way.
I am Andy Torres. I am 66 years old. I am a retired educator and a school administrator as well. Our mother instilled in us a life of service to the church, to the community, to the elderly. So that, of course, is in the forefront of my mind. The Knights of Columbus here in Peñasco, I've been a part of that organization for 24 years, I believe. The Morada Penitentes, Hermano Penitentes, I've been part of that for 23 years as well. I started the youth choir here in 1983. After 15 years, I didn't consider myself a youth anymore, so I changed from the youth choir to the adult choir, and I ran that one for 19 and a half years as well. Now I'm no longer the choir director, but I am still part of the choir. I play the guitar in my spare time. I do a little bit of wood burning projects. I'm trying to learn how to play the mandolin and the keyboard as well. Cecilia, my wife, has encouraged me always. She and I both worked at the schools together, Next, I would have to say former Superintendent Felix Duran. He pushed me a lot, and he did what he could to push me in the right directions as well. Through the Knights of Columbus, we provide services to the needy, to the elderly, to the poor, to the hungry. We help provide a variety of services to them. Through the Hermanos Penitentes, we provide prayer and support for families who are grieving as well. One of the things I do that relaxes me quite a bit is chopping wood. I don't own a wood splitter, so I split the wood by hand. My hopes and wishes for the Northern New Mexico community are that through my services for the greater community, the youth learn to serve their fellow man. If I'm not doing it to help others and instill a life of service to others, then it's a wasted skill.
I think I said it all. I don't know what else to say. I didn't write a speech either, so it'll be short, but I do want to say Santas y buenas tardes de Dios a todos y bienvenidos. Okay. I do once again want to thank my mother who instilled all this on me. She is unfortunately not here. She and my older brother both have COVID, so we're not able to attend. But I do want to thank my sister Frances, my brother Patrick, and my brother Ray for being here tonight with us, as well as my grandsons who came from Tucson. So thank you, gentlemen. And of course, I couldn't do this without my wife of 37 years. So thank you, Cecilia, for all the encouragement and all that she's done for me. I grew up in a family of 8 siblings. And of course, at that time, we were considered one of the small families. But again, my parents, my father passed away in January of this year, unfortunately. So my mom's by herself at this point. But I do want to say thank you to both my parents for all that they instilled in us. From a young age, we were all required to be altar servers at the church. We were all required to work to get jobs at early ages. So we all the brothers worked at Casa Cordova. I'm not sure how many of you remember that restaurant, but that's where all of us worked. And that's where a lot of us learned our ethics, our work ethic, as well as our public speaking abilities. We learned to serve the needs of our community. So my mantra has always been, God's work, my hands. So through that, I am doing everything that I do for the community, for my family. As this award is not for me. This award goes to the Knights of Columbus in Peñasco, the Hermano Penitentes from the Tribunal of San Pedro. It goes to all my former employees, all my former teachers, teacher assistants, custodians, maintenance workers. Without them, I would have been nothing and I would have not been able to succeed. So I want to thank all of them. So this award is received on behalf of all of them. I want to also thank a wonderful lady, the owner of the Taos News, Robin Martin, because we worked her property for many years. My father was in charge of her property for many years, so we worked that property for many years. I remember plowing and seeding and picking up, cutting hay, baling hay, everything on her property. So I want to thank her for that. I want to thank the Taos News. I want to thank the nominating committee and the wonderful people who have served, all the Unsung Heroes. I congratulate all of you, present and past members as well. So thank you all very much, and que Dios los bendiga y buenas noches.
Charlie Raskovitz came to Taos on vacation from Canada about 45 years ago, and he never left. In his virtual luggage, he brought a passion for ice hockey. From his own youthful experience, he understood how hockey can engender in youth a sense of teamwork and strategy, physical fitness, and great memories. Charlie coached ice hockey for more than 30 years here in Taos. And it's fair to say he's influenced generations of lovers of rink ice. He is a hero to all of those kids and to us. Thank you, Charlie.
My name's Charlie Raskovitz. Been a resident here in Taos a good part of my life, 45 years, and have been involved with the hockey community for a lot of those years. I came on a 3-week ski vacation as a rendezvous with people I'd skied with in Europe, and I was only going to be here 3 weeks. I fell into a bartending job at what was called the Casa Cordova back then, and never left. I'm a hockey player, and I've been playing all my life. There were 400 pairs of skates donated to the town by a donor from Texas. And I went to the Parks and Rec department and asked them, what are you going to do with these skates? And they said, well, we'd like to have a rink, but we don't have one. So that was the beginning of the project in Kit Carson Park. We started our youth league and our adult pickup games. We had a place to play now. We didn't have to drive to Los Alamos where we used to go to. Between the ski valley and the rink, building my own home, that kept me very, involved. And very fortunate, because the ski valley is a great place to be involved, and the rink with all the kids and families, and it was a community thing, and I felt very good about being able to contribute something to our community. This area is a part of the Mariposa Ranch, and it was had been owned by my good friend and neighbor Nat Troy, and he allowed me to clean the snow off and flood and create a NHL-sized rink here. So that was the sort of the beginning of the bug to get hockey going here in Taos. For the Taos community, number one is that we get this rink put back together. This unfortunate incident that happened, and then the gyrations of government and insurance and contractors and everything have slowed this to a snail's pace. And I know that people want to get it back, and I'm hoping our community gets it back, because we lost a lot of our hockey league during COVID. Kids found other things to do, and then they missed most of last winter. A lot of the kids had to go and play on other New Mexico teams around the state because we didn't have ice here. So for our community, for our youth, public skating, figure skating, all these things in the wintertime would be great to have that back. I hope Taos continues to be Taos, and I think it will. I think it's going to be a jewel for many, many years to come. Thank you very much. I repeat what Andy said. Pretty much everything that I was going to say, I forgot was going to be in this video. But I do want to thank the Taos News and everyone that was involved in this beautiful evening. I'm very humbled and proud to be considered among the other Taos heroes, many of whom are great contributors to so many things, and I feel very, very privileged to be among those people. Like I said, everything I was going to say is pretty much over in there. But I've enjoyed being in Taos, and when people have asked me, so how long have you been here? And I tell them 45 years, and they'll say, oh, you're a local, I guess. And I say, no, I'm not a local. You have to be here for generations to call yourself a local. But receiving this honor, I feel just a tiny bit closer to being a local. And I thank you all very, very much. And I'm very, very, very humbled and proud. Thank you very much.
So Abe Balsamo loves baseball. He loves to play it, he loves to coach it, and he loves what it can teach. Dedication, perseverance, putting the success of the team before personal recognition. As a longtime coach in Taos and now with the new School of Baseball, he draws from his lifelong love affair and is helping bring baseball to kids who otherwise might not be able to play, with a goal to instill in them these qualities that will stand them in good stead throughout their lives and also enhance their physical and mental health. Thank you, Abe. It's a pleasure to recognize you.
So I'm Abe Balsamo. I grew up here in Taos, in Ranchos, on the south side of town. Went through the public schools. I do a lot of things here in town. I'm the executive director for the School of Baseball, which is a nonprofit here for the kids. Taos Med, where we serve the underserved. Do a lot of work in the jails, do a lot of work in rehab and detox. And I run a technology company on top of that. After I went through school and everything else, came back in 2010 and started working in medicine again here. So really two niches that I spend my time in. One is in medicine and specifically, like I said, serving the underserved. The other niche is baseball. Most people in Taos know me as a baseball guy. I've coached about 50 teams over the last 30 years. More recently, in the last year, we started our nonprofit, the School of Baseball, and that's to give kids the advantage that other places have. It's something that we wanted when we grew up. We wish we had a place to go to get good training, to develop, rather than just, hey, go play, and that's all you get. So that's near and dear to me. That's something my wife and I started, and we've grown it to 8 coaches now, and serving about 100 kids a week right now. One of my biggest mentors growing up was, apart from my parents, obviously I followed in their footsteps. Both my parents are in medicine. They're both physician associates. That's what I became ultimately. But the other mentor from outside the family was Mr. Gilroy. Jim Gilroy was the best teacher I ever had, and that's going back all the years, including college, including medical school. We're doing more than just baseball. We're trying to create young men and women who not only want to come back home, but also will have something to give back. 'Cause I couldn't do any of the things that I do without my wife. Gina is my biggest supporter. There's no way I'd be where I am. There's no way where my kids would be where they are if it wasn't for her. She's the true unsung hero in my family. My hopes, dreams, and wishes for the Taos community are really happiness and health, honestly. I want people to come here and want to stay here. I want it to be a place that we can all look back at and say, that's a great place.
Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you to the Taos News and the nominating committee, Ted. Thank you guys all. I don't deserve to be here. I am every day going out there and playing baseball with a bunch of kids. I am lucky to do that. I feel like I'm taking advantage of them. You know, this is something that I've always wanted to do is the baseball thing, and Ramon's sitting here. He's one of my classmates. He remembers me as the baseball guy, I'm sure. Lots of people in this town remember me as the baseball guy, but in my other world, lots of them remember me as the medical guy, and in another world, they remember me as the technology guy. I'll tell you the truth, I'm the baseball guy. I do all those other things, but I'm the baseball guy. About 20 years ago, I decided I wanted to start a baseball academy, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. We were in California. I came back, went through school, got a real job like my dad told me to. And when we finally got back home, and we felt like we did it, we got it. Look around and we see all these great people doing great things in this town. And one of those is my mom. She's been on every nonprofit board. She's started every one of these organizations, it seems like. She was part of CAV before anybody knew what CAV was. She's been in it. I think watching my parents do what they did and still continue to do. My dad's active at St. James every week. I felt like I had to do something too. I wasn't doing enough, and so I talked with Gina, my wife, and again, my biggest supporter. I really could not do this without her. Couldn't do any of this without her. Talked with her and said, let's figure this out. And so she said, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it the right way. Let's not be Albuquerque Baseball Academy, $120 an hour for a lesson. That's ridiculous. We can't do that. We got to be able to do this for the kids of the town. And I've been coaching for 30 plus years, 50 plus teams. I know how hard travel ball is. I know how hard it is to get a good, not just a good education, but a good athletic education also. There's so much more to being an athlete and to being, in my case, a baseball player than just playing the game. You learn all kinds of life skills. You learn about showing up. You learn about discipline. You learn about putting in the work. 10,000 hours to get good at anything. That's a real thing in baseball. Baseball's a skill sport. You can't just go out there and play. These are things that we are instilling in our kids now. The School of Baseball has been around for 1 year as of October 1st. 1 year. In that 1 year, we've been able to have 50 baseball camps for free for these kids. We've had 1,500 kids come through the door. Yes, some of them are the same kid over and over and over because they love it. But 1,500 kids that didn't have a place to go last year, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are now coming and hanging out with us. I'm lucky to be able to hang out with them. My coaches, I have to tell you, I've got the best coaching staff. They're coaching right now. We got 8 kids in the facility over there right now. They're covering for me. But again, I think for any of us, if you consider yourself lucky enough to do something like this, it's not because of something that you did. It's because of something that everybody else around you is helping you with. There is no way you can run a facility like I am right now. There's no way you can make a huge difference without lots of people pulling for you. And I look around the room, and many of you have helped me out in one way or another. And I would say most of you. I have this whole side of the place is my family. I mean, between the Torres family and the Garcias and the Bonfantes and the Balsamos, this is my family. This is who we do this for. And so I think one person can do a lot, but you need a community. And that's what we're building. We're trying to do it the right way. We're trying to make it affordable. We're trying to help kids. We're running programs to get them into college and get them those athletic scholarships. If you've seen an athletic scholarship these days, it's like winning the lottery. It's $150,000. It's $200,000. It's $500,000. That's a big deal. So we're helping them with recruiting starting in 8th grade. How do you get recruited? How do you get out there? How do you do it? We're mentoring these kids. How do you run your social media? You know, I come from the tech world. Don't say the wrong things on social media. You might lose that lottery. There's a lot of things that we're teaching these kids. We're teaching them how to shake hands. We're teaching them how to go out there and be young men and young women. The last thing I would like to say is thank you, Gina, my wife, for letting me and putting up with me. Gina really is the unsung hero in my life. I'm going to sing it out there. Dr. Alfredo, she worked with you. I know she did half your work. She's also your unsung hero. It really does take a village, and I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for supporting my vision, our vision, and also the other unsung heroes here today. You're doing great work, and don't forget it. Thank you. Hold on.
Bilwa sees a healthcare need, any kind of need actually, in our community, but especially in healthcare, and immediately sets out to fill it. From vision screenings for kids to respite and hospice care later on in life, Bill has been a driving force in so many initiatives. The Lions have been a vehicle for much of his work, investing in future healthcare professionals through scholarships and other kinds of critical support, and God knows we need that here. Bill, you are a true unsung hero, And our wish is that Taos keeps you around for a very long time to come.
Well, my name is Bill Waugh, and that's W-A-U-G-H, and I've been here, you asked before, since about the late 70s. Taos has been very good, and I'm blessed with a lot of good friends in many circles, and been active here with the Scouts and with Philmont, and with the St. James Church here, and of course the Lions Club, and UNM, and the high schools. We have a respite caregiver program that serves elders and their families in their homes. We just started that in March, and we're very pleased with its progress. Interesting thing that we're now just beginning to explore is that if it's feasible to add student respite caregivers, whether they want to be engaged in the health sciences as they go into the workforce. These things that came to pass are not just me. It's a collective effort of the whole club. The Kids Site program, the after-school program that we ran for a while, the Discovery program. And so it's a we, not me. Well, the hobbies are music. We are blessed that we have a lot of quilters here, and they continue to weave together this community fabric that benefits all. You've heard the expression, life is a journey. Well, there's one more word. Life is a journey together. I thank all of you, and I'm humbled. But I want to talk about you. Some of you have been up here in the past, and some will be up here in the future. And what is it? Most of you have a purpose. And when you work on that purpose, and it benefits others, there's a catalyst happens. Now, it's not material, whether you're paid for it, like a teacher in the schools, or an instructor at UNM, or a volunteer screening the children's eyes in schools. It's not material. There's a catalyst that happens when what you do benefits others. It becomes a gift. And that gift, as it grows, and all of us are involved in it, I suggest to you becomes a quilt. And a lot of you have been working a long time in putting this quilt together, and it won't end, because each of you will continue to give a gift to your friends, to your neighbors, to this community. So I know that you will get out your needle tomorrow morning and your thread, and you'll keep on keeping on. So we, the Unsung Heroes, again, we thank you for your gift to us. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Jeffrey Plant, and I'm the editor of your local newspaper. I'm here to introduce our Citizen of the Year, the 25th Citizen of the Year. Certain professions, teachers, police, emergency services like fire, EMS, touch the lives of a great many people in any given community, particularly small rural communities like Taos. And I'd wager there's no more than 2 degrees of separation between every individual in this room and our Citizen of the Year. If you don't have a story or a personal connection with Dr. Ted Schubach, you have a family friend or family member who has a connection. That's 2 degrees. These connections and stories about making midnight house calls, caring for the pet owner as much as the pet, those reflect the qualities of an unsung hero. And for more than 4 decades, Dr. Ted Schubach has quietly shaped the fabric of the Taos community. As publisher Chris Baker mentioned, he's been voted best veterinarian so many years in a row. And his commitment to the community extends beyond the world of veterinary medicine. Dr. Schubach fundraises and volunteers for Shared Table, and he serves on several cultural and educational institution boards. While Schubach's clinic sees up to 100 patients a week these days and employs 10 to 12 staffers, his impact stretches far beyond veterinary care. He was part of the group that revived the Taos Animal Shelter in the 1980s, eventually helping launch what became Stray Hearts. He was president of the Stray Hearts Board from 1986 to 1990, tackling as a volunteer what many of the duties of a paid director. Dr. Schubach is at heart a servant leader and a mentor, someone who lifts others up without seeking praise. Somehow he also finds time to ski, snowshoe, hike, and walk his dogs after work. Please welcome Ted Schubach to the stage.
Ted Schubach, and a veterinarian here in Taos. I moved here in 1979, been practicing here in Upper Las Colonias ever since. I was a mixed animal practitioner. I did, in addition to pets, I did horses, cows, pigs, just about any kind of farm animal. About 20 years ago, I kind of backed off of doing the horses and still continued for a little while, but my main emphasis then just became the small animal. I appreciate, being able to interact with everybody and not just this select group or that select group. I benefit from experiencing all aspects of Taos culture. Pueblo community, after the Spanish came, the horses became an important part of their culture, and I was veterinarian for the buffalo there for many years. And when we got them on a regular program of vaccination and deworming, they gained several hundred pounds each as an average, and then they've continued to work with those since. My job is stressful. We not only trying to save the animal, but we're dealing with people in their most stressful time. You know, when their animals are sick, that's about as stressful as it gets for a lot of people. But getting out in nature really, and these hikes really help me, you know, maintain my sanity. There are just so many faces of the gorge. I volunteer with the shared table, food distribution. A lot of retirees use the shared table to help supplement their low incomes. Inflation has risen more than most people's retirement income. I deal mainly over in Talpa, and because I work Wednesday mornings when the distribution is at El Pueblito Methodist Church in El Prado, and you know, I also help. I'm on the board of the Millicent Rogers Museum. I'm on the board of trustees there, so I help with. That's an important museum here in town. The university I went to, Oklahoma State, actually has a campus here. It's called the Dole Reed Center for the Arts. Dole Reed was head of the art department at Oklahoma State before he moved, and an artist. His daughter gave the property to Oklahoma State University, and we've operated a campus here for almost 20 years now. I try to support a lot of music around town, and I've had some house concerts here. Did a garden this year and had a bunch of leftover lumber from different things. Years ago I had a pig pen that I had lumber that I got, and then I used that scrap lumber to make some raised beds. Things that are concerning, you know, I'd like to see better housing, you know, more housing opportunities for low-income people here in town. You know, I'd like to see the different cultures maintained. That's what I like about Millicent Rogers Museum is we have all aspects of the Pueblo culture. We have all different aspects of the traditional Hispanic culture. And then I'm one of those people that came here. That grandfather came here in the 20s. You know, never lived here, but journaled about it. You know, I'd like to see not everybody swallowed up into just being Walmart shoppers.
Well, like some of the other people, I didn't really get much of a prepared speech, but this is quite an honor, and I want to thank the Taos News and the committee that chose me, and all the other unsung heroes. And there's almost everyone here in this room is an unsung hero, and that's really true. All of you, everything I do. You know, I'm just part of a team, you know, from my work, my great staff. But every organization that I participate in, it's a group thing. And I first moved here in 1979, and I was fortunate as a veterinarian. I was a large animal vet as well as small animal vet then, and I got to really participate in the lives of a lot of people in this town, and got accepted into all the cultures and all the walks of life in Taos. And it was it's really great to be part of this community. And so, you know, when we all see a need, and where there needs, and you know, I've tried to help where I can, and I think everybody here does the same thing. When they see a need, they try to help, and so everybody here helps in a way, and that makes this such a great community. But again, I want to thank the Taos News. Robin, back in the 1980s, bought bumper stickers for the Taos Animal Shelter. It said, "I spayed my dog and I spayed my cat." I don't know if you remember that, Robin. Anyway, yeah, it was, I spayed my dog, I spayed my cat with a spade like from card deck. Anyway, so, you know, the Taos News and Robin and all the people that work for the Taos News have been extremely helpful in the community, and continue to be, and recognize all the people that year after year participate and make this the Taos community that we are.
Let's give it up for Ted one more time. So I want to thank all the employees at the Taos News, Ellen Miller, our web editor, our magazine editor, Chris Wood, and his 20th anniversary at the Taos News is this year, so I don't know where Chris is, but thank you for everything Chris has done. Mary Chavez, our office manager, it's her 20th anniversary too. She puts this whole thing on. Thank you, Mary. Paul Gutchess, our creative director. Thank you, Paul, for everything you've done. He did a beautiful, our Tradiciones is one of the best ever, so thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Jeffrey Plant, my editor. Thank you, Jeffrey. Heather, my web editor that's out there putting this on. Thank you, Heather. And Sean Roberts, he's our circulation director. He has the wonderful task of putting out this big paper tomorrow. Our sponsors, Taos Community Foundation, UNM Taos, Descenda, and also Taos Ski Valley. Thank you guys for your wonderful sponsorship. Thank you for that. Let's give it up for Razor Sharp. Ruben, thank you guys. Did a wonderful job. Our photographer, Clementine, she's over here. Thank you, Clementine. And please support our street vendors tomorrow. They work hard. They're out in the cold. They're out in the hot heat, and they do an amazing job. So please buy a paper tomorrow. And thank you to everyone for coming tonight. Thank you.
I have one final thing I would like to say. It's not a coincidence that we are celebrating the 25th year of Tradiciones tonight, and it's also Chris Baker's 25th anniversary with the Taos News. So, if the Taos News is a family in many ways, not only because it's family owned, but also because we've had the wonderful guidance of Chris Baker in our community, leading it as its publisher for all this time. So this is also a celebration of him and his engagement and commitment to our whole community. So thank you, Chris. And have a wonderful, safe night. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much to all our subscribers as well. You're what keeps us going every day. So thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful evening.